Right, hello AP Econ students. You're taking Fairfax County Public Schools online campus economics class, the AP version of our economics class with Mr. Maxwell this year. And I'm sorry we missed each other on our original orientation. Most of that was my fault, so I do apologize for that. I'm going to ask you to fill out a couple of forms, but they will not be in this video. I will follow up with an email for the entrance and exit tickets. I will skip through this really quickly. I am Mr. Maxwell. I'll be your teacher this year. I've been teaching with the online campus, I think, for 6 or 7 years, and I've taught going into my 18th year here at Lake Braddock, teaching all kinds of different classes, but primarily U.S. history, and the online campus I've been teaching economics. I am going to skip over the technology requirements because that was a checklist you're supposed to have already done from one of the emails that I've sent you. So if you have any questions about that, please email me directly. We'll skip through a lot of this pretty quickly just because I'm trying to get to the point where you'll know what to do for the week and each week from this point on. So we'll talk about how often you need to be on this site or on Blackboard and when we have our class and the types of things that you're going to turn in. And of course, we'll talk about how your grade is actually determined. So I kind of skip through this. We'll not talk too much about this first part. Don't worry about this. We don't take people after the beginning of the year, although some classes bring people in January, so don't worry about those first 2 bullets. But I will let you know that our due dates each week are Sunday night at midnight, and you'll need to have done your assignments and any quizzes or tests before that time. The key about an online campus course is that this is really going to be up to you as far as keeping track of everything. You're going to need to be self-motivated, probably have a little bit more responsibility than your normal face-to-face class in school, and you're not going to want to put off all your work until the weekend to get this done. If you can do constant work throughout the week, small amounts of it, that's going to work better for you. So just a few things you should do for any online campus course. Check your email every day. That's the primary way I'll speak to you, and you'll be in touch with me. You'll need to log into Blackboard routinely to see if there's been any updates. Checking the announcements, you can check your grades and get your work completed. We'll have our virtual chat every Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. It'll last till 9:15. I try to get you out at that time. Sometimes we stay a couple of minutes late to finish off a couple of things. Each class, we're going to do entrance and exit tickets. And if you find that you can't make one Wednesday night, let's say per semester, or maybe 2 throughout the year, you do have a responsibility. I will record all of the sessions, and you will need to come in. And on Blackboard, there'll be links to the sessions you missed. You'll have to watch it, take some notes, and then there's an additional question for anybody who does the exit ticket who did not come to class. You'll have to write a brief summary in that exit ticket. The virtual chat right now, it's actually a different name, but it still says weekly chat sessions. You'll get into our sessions directly through Blackboard. There's no link being sent to you in your email. You'll come into Blackboard and you'll see the weekly chat session, and you just click in Blackboard to meet on Wednesday nights. I do suggest using headphones and a microphone. It cuts off background noise. I do expect everyone to be a participant in our class. I keep track of who is contributing to class and who isn't, and I try to make sure I spread the wealth as far as who we speak to. So please make sure your mic is working ahead of time. You don't need to use the audio setup wizard anymore. Blackboard Collaborate Ultra lets you test right as you come in. A couple things you need to know. When you take your unit exams and your reading quizzes, they are closed book tests. So you may not have any notes available to you for those. And you need to treat it just like an exam in class. Obviously, there's some not benefit to you. We trust that you're on the honor system for these exams, and we'll talk about how we enforce that trust in just a little bit. I would also suggest not having anything else open on your computer while you're taking this, just so you do not crash halfway through a test, because it submits your test for you then. The way we kind of police whether you're being honest or not is the exams that you're going to take at home, the unit tests. When you take your in-person tests, and that's a little bit up in the air this year. We might have to change that thanks to the pandemic. But typically we have a micro final exam in January and a macro final exam in May. And both of those happen in a classroom, usually at Lake Braddock. And if your performance on those exams is 2-letter grades below your performance in your unit exams, you'll be required to take all of your weekly or every 2-week exams in a classroom with one of the teachers at your school. There will be 2 required face-to-face exams. I just said that. That could change this year, obviously, but typically you'll come to Lake Braddock to my classroom and take your final in January for micro and your final in May for macro. The grading rules in general, we will have a rolling grade book, which means that throughout the year we just keep adding to it. There is no real quarter marks other than what we give a snapshot at the times that we usually send report cards home. The percentages as far as what we'll do in class, your multiple choice exams and your FRQs make up the majority of your grades. Those are 2 exams. Then we have weekly reading quizzes, online activities, and chats, and those make up the remainder of your grade. We do have everything due on a Sunday night at midnight, and if you're going to be late, you should really get in touch with me and let me know. And you can turn in work late. We'll accept it up till the next unit test, but you can be assessed a 20% penalty on the work or the grade that you get from that work. So please know, especially with the online class, it's really important to stay up to date. Grading policies, we do offer second chance multiple choice exams, which means you can take the second chance and there's no requirement that you have to get below an 80 or something like that. If you get an 85 on your first exam and you think you can get 100, you can take the second chance exam and your higher grade counts. I'll be sending weekly progress reports by mail, and your final mark with this rolling grade book will be made up of all the work you do during the year. The coursework will be 60%. Your micro final is 20 and your macro final is 20. Your attendance, you are expected to be up to date with the work that you're turning in, as well as attending your Wednesday night chats. If we don't hear from you or you don't turn anything in for 5 days, you get an attendance warning. If we don't hear you for 10 days, that's a more substantial problem. By then I would have already called home multiple times. That is the beginning of what we call the withdrawal process. And if you are not heard of or seen for 15 days, technically you're a truant by Virginia state law and you'll be dropped from class. So please just remember, don't get behind. Whenever you have a problem, please ask for help. Email is the best way, and I usually get back to you within a couple of hours. And if you have any technology issues, we will work through it this year. I'll leave this on Blackboard. We don't really need to talk about that, but here's kind of the mechanics of the course for the following weeks. You will have a video to watch. There's also textbook readings you can read, but most students just use the videos. Then there are online activities of problem sets where you're going to use the things that we looked at in the videos, and you are going to work through those problems and turn them in on Blackboard. You can then take a reading quiz. It is closed book, but you do get 2 attempts at it. And then there's a discussion board, which means you're going to do your problems, look at the problem sets, and then if you have any problems, you're going to post a unique question to other students asking for some help. You can't just ask for the answer, but you need to say, I don't understand how this was calculated, or I don't understand why the graph looks like this. So that is what you need to do. You post 2 questions for yourself, and then you need to respond and keep a conversation going once. So there's a total of 3 things per week on those discussion boards. Then we have unit multiple choice exams. That's usually every 2 to 3 weeks. And there's also a free response with every exam. So I do want to walk you through what it's going to look like on Blackboard for you. When you come in, you're going to go to Course Materials. When you click on that, it'll take you into Unit 1, Basic Economic Concepts. And the first thing that's due is Lesson 1. You're going to click on that. And it will take you to the course materials. Almost all of the materials are right here under Lesson 1 Course Materials. And when you click there, you'll get this yellow page. And every week, it'll look just like this. And you'll have Step 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll notice there are readings, but most students don't read these unless you need to clarify something. But then we have videos on the far right that will walk you through the concepts for the week. Then you'll want to download these problem sets, and you need to work through the complete problem set. It needs to be your unique work. You shouldn't be cutting any kind of or copying any kinds of graphing or anything like that from the interwebs and putting it in your submitting it in your problem sets. And then you'll take this problem set when you're done, and 2 steps back, there's a place to actually upload your weekly online assignments. That's your problem set. But you'll notice right below it, there's a problem set key. The entire way we've set up this course is you are going to try these problem sets, and then you have a chance to correct them. So the good news about that is you get a chance to make sure everything you're turning in should be 100%. That doesn't mean you should find the answers under the problem set key and then just put those in as your own, but it does mean you do have a chance to check your work and then turn it in. And then, if we go back a couple of pages here, you turn it in under the online activity, your problem sets. Then you can come and take your reading questions, and you can take that up to 2 times. And then you can move to the discussion boards to post your discussions. And you can get there from either this link or have it hidden over here. I think there's also a class discussion button usually. So that's what we do each week, and then there's an exam every 2 to 3 weeks. The discussion boards themselves, they'll remind you you're supposed to provide 2 specific questions or something you struggled with, and then 1 response to another student's question. This is all available on Blackboard. I won't go through it with you, just in a matter of time here for you watching the videos. And if you have any questions, I'm available. You'll have my email because you've received 2 or 3 emails from me already. I will cut this video off at this point, and I will see you then on Wednesday. What date is it? September 16th. So please contact me with any questions, and if you need me to clarify anything, I'll be happy to do so. Thanks a lot, and I look forward to working with you this year.